Well, howdy there, folks. James, politicalfriar.com, coming to you again. I got the Oregon hat on, so we're going to talk about a political topic. It's not a topic that I thought I'd be talking about. I usually don't cover retruths, but when the president or former president of the United States is involved, it actually has some consequences, and that's kind of going to be the point of this video, is that words and rhetoric have real world consequences. And we had another example of something that just makes me anxious happening yesterday. So, yesterday, Donald Trump retruthed this comment, thus endorsing it and sending it out to his millions upon millions of acolytes. This is the comment: my fantasy, downward pointing and then smiley face. I would like to see Letitia, misspelled, James and Judge Edgeron placed under citizen's arrest for blatant election interference and harassment. And that caught the former president's attention to the point that he decided he was going to blast it out to all of his followers. And that is really dangerous. Listen, he probably sees it as a joke. He probably sees it as playing. But the thing is, it isn't about what you mean to say when you are a political figure of Donald Trump's power. It's about what is heard by your audience. And his audience is primed to hear things that I'm going to hope that he doesn't actually intend for them to hear. And this has happened over and over and over again. You may know the name Ashley Babbitt. Ashley Babbitt died on January 6th, 2021. She was at the front of the protesters who breached the Capitol, believing, at least, that they were doing so at the behest of Donald Trump, believing they were following orders from their leader, believing that this is exactly what Donald Trump wanted them to do. And she, firm in that belief and armored against any consequences from Donald Trump, because of course he wouldn't lead her wrong, jumped through a broken window after being warned by a Capitol Police officer who had his gun out and was pointing at her that he would shoot if she did that. Well, he shot and he killed her. And but for Donald Trump's rhetoric, Ashley Babbitt would be alive today. Now, did Donald Trump pull the trigger? Is he responsible for her death? No, he's not the proximate cause of her death, but he is a cause of her death, and it was particularly his rhetoric that was a cause of her death. Ricky Walter Shifter, another Donald Trump supporter, believing that he heard Donald Trump call him to action after the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago, entered a Cincinnati FBI office with an automatic rifle and a nail gun, and after confronting armed FBI officers, fled, engaged in a shootout, and was killed. Did Donald Trump kill him? No. But Donald Trump's rhetoric is a but for Donald Trump's rhetoric, Ricky Walter Shifter would be alive today. David DePape, he didn't die, but he did attack Nancy Pelosi's husband in his home with a hammer. Would he have attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband with a hammer but for Donald Trump and his ilk's rhetoric? No, he wouldn't have. Adam Fox. Adam Fox is serving 16 years in federal prison for plotting to kidnap the Michigan governor, make a citizen's arrest, one might say, over her COVID-19 policies. Donald Trump openly supported him. He failed to condemn him when given that offer. He said, no, stand by. And the reason is because he's fundamentally on Adam Fox's side. He doesn't see that kind of extremism as anathema like he should. He is deeply irresponsible with his power when he uses this rhetoric, and it does, in net, kill people. This isn't something that is only on the right wing. I mean, James Hodgkinson went and shot up a baseball practice with congressional members, almost fatally killing Steve Scalise. It is something that was driven by left-wing rhetoric that was equally irresponsible. You cannot even tolerate calls for violence, calls for the use of terrorism, even as a joke. When you are as powerful as Donald Trump, he needs to be condemned for this. And if anybody actually follows through and hears the orders, whether he meant it or not, boy, he is blameworthy, isn't he? Anyway, it's just a thought. Let me know how wrong I am in the comments down below, and like this video, please subscribe. And boy, anybody calling or even harboring calls for violence in politics, this just makes my stomach turn. Thanks.